Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Wordle with Art. Today is going to be super fun and super exciting because we're going to do the Hawaiian Challenge. Yes, the Hawaiian Challenge. We're going to go on a trip to Hawaii and we're going to make sure that we use at least 3 words that contain only the Hawaiian letters. And those, of course, are A, E, I, O, U. So all of our traditional vowels, as well as 7 consonants, H, K, L, M, N, P, and W. Okay, so it's going to be very challenging. As you can imagine, I practiced this ad infinitum on Wordle infinitum just to make sure I could get it down. Now, there are a few sequences, and a few of you actually mentioned this, that can be very tricky and can easily get you into a death trap spiral. Okay, so hopefully we don't get there. It's typically when the U comes up in the second slot, and then you can get some really nasty traps there. All right. But I've got a pretty good starter combo, and I've also made it so it's adaptive, depending on what happens, okay? So it's not like I'm just going to blindly throw those 3 words down. By the way, guys, we have a 99-game streak on the line, okay? So if I succeed, which I think will be great because we're going to do it in style, hopefully, with this amazing challenge, we will be at a 100-game streak, which would be absolutely phenomenal. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. Let me just make sure everything looks good here. Yes, it does. And I also want you guys to make sure that you stick around because the next challenge, I think it's going to be even harder. So here we go. So I found that email would be a fantastic start. So let's try email. Yes. Okay. This is fantastic. So email, first off, was a previous solution. So although the rules of my challenge did say that it's okay if you didn't enter all 3, but the answer comes up being one of the Hawaiian words, you're safe, okay? But I just wanted to, in the spirit of the game, make sure that we really did put in 3 of them. All right, now email was great, okay? Now, the good follow-up on this, I was going to do phone, okay? I was going to do phone. Which is, obviously we do waste the E. But I think the HON are pretty good. I mean, we have to put it down no matter what, okay? And there's really not going to be anything much better because there's only 12 of these letters, right? So we're going to go with phone. Oh, yes, and we got an H, okay? So this is fantastic. In fact, I can already sense that it could be a word like smash. Okay, it could be a word like smash. Okay, in which case, interestingly, well, no, the H is definitely going to go at the end. So it's not like we have to do a Hawaiian word that tests the H there. But I guess my final one that I'm going to do, which I thought was pretty cool, and I think that our good friend Ald Fouter would appreciate this because it's, believe it or not, it's a Scots word. And I believe it has a variety of meanings, but it has to do with like making something like matted, like it's fur. Okay. All right. Anyway, so we have to throw in our final Hawaiian word. So let's go with walk. And there you go. Okay. So nothing extra. So I do believe, guys, that we can make quick service of this particular challenge. I got extremely lucky, but that email was phenomenal. And I do think the only letter that can go in front of that M is an S. Because, again, what's great about with the Hawaiian words is that you can use all the vowels. So there's no vowel that would go in front of it. So I think M is the only legitimate one. And we're going to go, I think, smash. I mean, H would definitely go at the end. Let me just check if there's any other consonants that it could do. No. That's it. I think we're going to get this in 4, guys, which is actually the most efficient way to solve this thing, unless one of the answers was going to be a Hawaiian word. So keep our fingers crossed. Did we get it in 4? Yes, we did! Woo! All right. Look at that, guys. 100-game streak. I'm only 17 games away from my previous best streak. That is fantastic, okay? Whoa, I was nervous about this one. I really was. But I think, obviously, a little bit of luck starting with email. And I think maybe some of you might have also figured that one out as a very good starter word. So, oh my gosh, I am delighted with that one. All right. All right, guys. So now let's, as we do, shift this aside. Okay, let's shift this aside and talk about tomorrow's challenge, which I think could possibly be yet another. It could be just another ball buster. Okay, let's just put it in plain English. So let's just get this sucker moved aside. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. So here it goes. Now, once again, I'd like to give credit to our good friend Joe for providing the incentive for this one. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to play with animals. Okay, guys, we're going to go to the zoo and we're going to make sure that every entry that we put in up till the answer, that is, has to be an animal. So it just got to go animal, 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 animal. And then if the answer happens to be an animal, that's perfect. You're done. Or animal, animal, animal. And then you think you might have enough information to make your final guess. And then that final guess would then have to be the answer. Because if it's not, you would have, you're going to fail it. So here's two scenarios that I think will make this very easy. So here's scenario number one. And as you can see here, I got pretty lucky. So we started with snake, all right, and then I went with tiger, and that nailed it. I was able to get it in 3, and that would be obeying the rules. So you can't force the answer, of course, to be an animal. So a tiara, of course, is not an animal. But everything leading up to that answer was an animal. We had a snake, we had a tiger, and then bam, we got it in 3 with a tiara, which is pretty good. Obviously, I'm playing this on the infinite Wordle because we already have had tiara on the official Wordle. All right, now let's take a look at the second example. Guys, this was hilarious. Are you ready? So notice how this played out. Snake, tiger, mouse. Now, aphid would also count. You can also use a word that refers to maybe like a more general set of animals. So in other words, aphid, of course, are garden insects. So it could either be the specific animal, like the snake or the tiger or the mouse, or it could be, maybe slightly more general. The bottom line is it has to be a noun, okay? Because animals are nouns, and it has to be something that, like, you could see with your eyes, like in the zoo or out in the wild or in your garden. Or something that if I, enter it into the Google search, I see a picture of this thing, okay? There has to be a picture of that animal, okay? And then eagle, and then guess what? The answer was camel. Can you believe it? So we literally filled up all 6 rows with animals and got camel on the last shot. Okay, so that's how we're going to play this one. I do think this is going to be, it could be very tricky, depending on how things go, what the answer is. Guys, I would definitely create a little database of some animals. Don't obviously look at it while you're solving the Wordle, but have some good animals in mind that might, for instance, be your 3 go-tos that get rid of a lot of vowels and some quality letters from which you could easily get the answer, okay? That's how I would play it out. So I hope we have fun with that one, guys. And of course, yes, I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow with yet another edition of Wordle with Art.